The day Phoenix Coldon vanished, the weather in St. Louis was calm, quiet, ordinary. No storms, no crowded streets, no disruptions. The type of winter afternoon that slips past unnoticed. And yet, on December 18, 2011, in a neighborhood just outside Spanish Lake, something happened that no one has been able to fully explain. A 23-year-old woman, a promising violinist, a college student, a daughter, walked out of her house, got into her car, and disappeared. Hours later, her vehicle would be found abandoned in one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in East St. Louis. Engine running, door open, keys in the ignition, glasses on the seat, and her phone missing. And for more than a decade, that car has been the last verified proof that Phoenix Reeves Coldon was ever alive. This is the story of what happened in the hours before Phoenix vanished, the investigation that raised more questions than answers, and the three competing theories that still divide her family, investigators, and the public. Because sometimes the most unsettling disappearances don't begin with a scream or a struggle. They begin with a quiet drive and a door left open. Phoenix woke up before her parents that Sunday. She practiced violin in the living room, something she often did, barefoot, standing near the window, the bow moving in slow arcs. Friends would later say she'd been distant in the weeks leading up to her disappearance. Not angry, not emotional, just detached. She had recently moved back home after attending the University of Missouri St. Louis. Her parents believed she was still enrolled. She wasn't. She told them she had a job. She didn't. And she was hiding something else. Hours of private phone calls to a man her parents never knew existed. That morning, her mother Goldia noticed Phoenix pacing back and forth across the driveway, with her phone pressed to her ear. This lasted nearly an hour. When she finally came inside, she barely spoke. She sat on the couch. She stared at the floor. And then she stood up, walked toward the door, and said 3 words. "I'll be right back." She didn't take her purse. She didn't take a coat. She left her wallet behind. And she didn't tell anyone where she was going. Phoenix got into her 1998 Chevy Blazer, backed down the driveway, and turned left. It was the last confirmed time anyone who knew her saw her alive. For the next several hours, investigators believe she drove aimlessly. No destination confirmed. No phone pings released to the public. But at 3 p.m., more than 5 hours after she left, her SUV was found abandoned in East St. Louis. Not parked, not stopped, safely. Abandoned. The driver's door was open. The keys were still in the ignition. The engine was running. Her glasses left behind. Her phone gone. It's the type of scene detectives usually see after a carjacking, a kidnapping, or something staged in a hurry. But there was something else. Something that troubled investigators from day one. The SUV had been left in one of the most dangerous parts of East St. Louis, a place Phoenix had no connection to, and no reason to be. Phoenix's parents didn't call police immediately. They assumed she'd return. She was an adult, after all. But morning came, and her room was untouched. Her bed unslept in. Her Bible still open on her dresser. It wasn't until the next day that police informed them her car had already been towed, hours earlier. The Coldons were shocked. No one had contacted them. No one had run the plates. The car had simply been removed from the scene like an abandoned vehicle. And now the most time-sensitive clues were gone. From the beginning, the investigation into Phoenix's disappearance was fractured. Different jurisdictions, different priorities, different interpretations. East St. Louis Police had the abandoned SUV. St. Louis County Police had the missing person. Federal agencies weren't involved yet. What complicated everything further was the area where her SUV was found. Residents described seeing a vehicle left running and then quickly ignored it. It wasn't unusual. Cars were often stolen, dumped, stripped, or abandoned. One local resident told reporters, "Cars get left here all the time. I didn't think anything of it." And that is where the trail went cold. Literally. When investigators dug into Phoenix's phone records, they discovered something her parents never knew. She had another cell phone, privately paid for, with thousands of text messages and hours of calls to a man they'd never heard of. Phoenix's best friend later described her as trapped, a young woman trying to break away from her strict upbringing and complicated home environment. She had religious pressure, academic pressure, family expectations. She was 23, but still living under rules meant for a child. And she was planning something big. Investigators found signs Phoenix had been researching new apartments, packing notebooks with addresses, looking up directions, saving money privately. She wasn't just unsettled, she was preparing an escape. The mystery of what happened to Phoenix has grown into three main theories, each one compelling, each one heartbreaking, and each one still debated to this day. Theory 1. She left to start a new life. Some believe Phoenix ran, deliberately. The secret phone, the job lie, the school lie, the research into apartments, the troubled calls, all point to someone planning to leave. But if Phoenix left voluntarily, one question remains. Why abandon her SUV in a dangerous neighborhood with the engine running? And why disappear for more than a decade with no trace? No bank use? No social media? No new identity? Even military databases checked clean. People who run always leave a trail. Phoenix didn't. Theory 2. Human trafficking. This is the theory Phoenix's parents fear most, and many investigators suspect. East St. Louis has long been a known trafficking corridor, major interstates, transient populations, fast movement, fast disappearances. And Phoenix was a young, attractive woman alone in a running vehicle. Her abandoned SUV shows all the hallmarks of a forced removal. And a chilling detail surfaced later. A social media commenter claimed to have seen a woman resembling Phoenix in a Las Vegas trafficking circuit. The lead was never confirmed, but it was never disproven either. Theory 3. Foul play by someone close to her. When investigators discovered Phoenix had been hiding major parts of her life, 2 phones, secret relationships, mounting conflicts, a darker theory emerged. Someone close to her may have known. Someone may have confronted her. Someone may have followed her, but without evidence, without witnesses, and without phone records released publicly. No one has been named. No one has been arrested, and no one has been ruled out. Phoenix Coldon's case faced obstacles from the start. 1. Jurisdictional confusion. 2. Delayed reporting. 3. Lack of initial investigation at the car scene. 4. No immediate forensic processing. 5. Fragmented case files. By the time agencies aligned, days had passed. Vital clues had vanished with the winter wind. And Phoenix? She was gone. There are cases where time creates movement, where rumors lead to tips, where tips lead to breakthroughs. Phoenix's case is not one of them. After 2012, the leads slowed. After 2015, the case grew quiet. After 2018, documentaries revived interest, briefly. And then it went silent again. A woman disappears in daylight. Her car abandoned in a public street. And yet, the world simply moved on. Phoenix Coldon had dreams. Not extraordinary ones, not unusual ones. Just dreams of independence, freedom, a life where she could breathe. Whatever happened that December afternoon, whether she left by choice, by force, or by fear, the truth has never followed her home. And the Coldon family is still waiting. Someone, somewhere, knows what happened. And maybe they've always known. If you have information about Phoenix Coldon, contact St. Louis County Police Department, 314-615-5400. National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. 1-800, The Lost One, 808-435-678. Because a case goes cold, but it never goes silent. What do you think happened to Phoenix Coldon? Did she run? Was she taken? Or was someone waiting for her that day? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your insight may help keep Phoenix's case alive. If this story moved you, share it. Someone out there might remember something. And if you're new here, subscribe to Unsolved Plus, where every voice matters, every clue matters, and every story deserves to be told.